candles and graphic t-shirts all of the time. We do, however, require you to get dressed in the morning if you're coming into the office. We really don't want to know what people are wearing when they're working from home. And as you can see, Skippy, he's really just not allowed in the office. Okay, Michael touched on this earlier that we haven't made fun zones in a while, and it was thought that the technology was lost, but no, it was just we didn't have an artist. And I actually asked after the layoffs in 2004, I was saddened by the fact that the one guy who made the fun zones was gone. So the people left were very talented, but the learning curve for building new zones was pretty steep. Luckily, since last Real Life Gathering, we've hired a multi-talented guy who not only knows server maintenance, but has also brought you such things as facial hair, long hair, tick monkey, and tick clucky. The Chaz has learned a lot about how to build in there, and hopefully we'll have new stuff to see. And that was a really hard slide to put together because everything just had to be just so. Is it true that their employees don't work on the weekends? I could give you a list of significant others who would testify that that is not true. We've always had 24/7 server support, and Jessica's team has an amazing ability to not sleep through pages at 3 a.m. The common thought is that no one else besides that one lone ops person cares on the weekends. I don't know of a single member of this company that doesn't spend time on the weekends just looking in to see what's going on. In addition, we have the greeters and event hosts that are online at all sorts of wacky hours, and they know how to get a hold of ops or support when they are needed.
I never log in on the weekends.
Is it warm over there with your chonis and fuego? Okay, do certain custom vehicles perform differently than others of the same classification? Okay, the next two slides, the information was written by Sunny, and I'm going to read it word for word because it's...
Into the mic.
Ah, okay. Since the two-seater, one-seater, TUV, monster TUV, and groovy bug are all technically buggies, then this statement is true, since the physics are adjusted differently on each of these product types. Furthermore, there is evidence to suggest that even within the products in their shop, there may be some buggy type vehicles that have slightly different physics settings than others. For example, Necromancer once noted that the Dirt Devil TUV was ever so slightly slower than the other models and asked me if I could verify that this was true. I didn't think I'd find any difference, but when I checked its properties, I found that one variable, chassis air friction, had a different value on the Dirt Devil than the other three. It was extremely tiny difference, but it could have made a very minuscule effect on the speed of the vehicle. So yeah, it can be said that not all buggies drive the same. More info in the next answer. So Sunny says maybe. Okay, this is a long one, please bear with me. Virtually every developer-made two-seater buggy that was processed after July 2003 should perform exactly like the standard Kong buggy, with only a handful of exceptions. Prior to that, there may have been some buggies that were processed that may behave slightly differently. If I care to explain this further, read on. Back in the old days, we had one approver and one approver machine, and the template for the two-seater buggy was the standard Kong buggy. And then it got deleted. A new one was conjured, but the physics were set incorrectly, which resulted in 30 stubby buggies being processed. When the mistake was discovered, the properties of the template buggy were manually adjusted, and this became the model that was used for several months until additional approver machines were configured. All of these new machines had buggy templates that were identical to the Kong buggy in the shop. But because of the physics of the buggy template on the first machine was manually altered, I cannot say with absolute certainty that buggy painter submissions processed using this template perform exactly the same as the standard Kong buggy. Here are a couple of other exceptions. Some of the early accidental one-seaters occurred. When that occurred, they tried several tricks to fix them, including manually editing the ed props of the affected one-seaters to force them into becoming two-seater buggies. These attempts failed.
Yay.
But they did result in a handful of one-seaters with slightly different physics than the standard models. He also did some well-known experiments in the past with custom buggies, like the Lowrider, the Frog TUV, and of course the Monster. But these buggies were submitted as Sunblock or their developer, and he's never tinkered with properties of developer submitted buggies. Are the servers powered by gerbils on exercise wheels?
Yes. He's on strike.
So Jessica is going to speak to you about the many things that the operations team has been working on to improve there for you. Always looking for new hardware and software technologies and determining what is best for providing a stable platform for there. All of our servers have been drastically upgraded and the gerbils have been replaced with monkeys. And here we have flying monkeys, tick monkeys, flaming banana monkeys, and anyone who has been to our office in San Mateo might recognize my stuffed monkey. There's
I have
lots
one
of monkeys
too.
hidden in there too. And is Rick Slick awesome? Of course he is. He said that I'm awesome and it takes one to know. And does Bear still have a few secrets we haven't discovered? As a company, we are always looking to the future. Like Steve said about 18 months ago, just imagine. That is what we are doing every day, imagining what we can do for you and there next. And I love the pancake bunny, so I do